Alright, here we are of round 2 with Token Walkers. On the draw again, Inquisition Path, Midnight Haunting, Oath of Gideon, 3 lands. I'm not thrilled, but I'll keep it. Like, I get turn 1 Inquisition, I have a removal spell, I have 2 token producers, including Oath of Gideon. So any combination of land, 4 mana, Planeswalker makes this fairly good. Leading off on Gataxian Probe, I don't know how to feel about this. Um, I think if it's something along the lines of Grixis Delver or Blue-Red Delver, I'm happy. If it's something more along the lines of Infect, I don't actually know how I feel about the Infect matchup in this deck. I don't have... Now I'm leaning towards the fact that it's Infect. Um, with as much hand disruption as possible, Infect seems like a good matchup. But if I don't have hand disruption, it seems not good at all. So we're going to Inquisition here, hopefully take Blighted Agent. Luckily, we do actually run Flyers, which is nice, and we have them on turn 3 with Midnight Hunting, so a turn 2 Inkmoth Nexus is not nearly as scary since he only gets 1 turn to attack with it, and we'll be taking either his best pump spell if all he has is Inkmoth Nexus, or if he has Blighted Agent, we'll take that. Shocking in Breeding Pool? Oh, he must be Spell Piercing. Yep. Okay. Well, the hope is that we're not dead. Luckily, we do have Path to Exile, so once again, we can just hope that his creature is Blighted Agent, and if he taps out for Blighted Agent, then we're in excellent shape. So if I were running this deck in paper and I had just like a bunch of modern cards, if I was running this with like all the modern cards at my disposal, I'm wondering what I would pick for the Infect matchup. Oh, I have Hold the Line. Hold the Line was definitely one that crossed my mind because Hold the Line just makes your creature so huge. Drawing Inquisition, we're getting Inquisition here. That them fighting through it is near impossible. Okay, so Become Immense is already turned on, which is uh, more than scary. He has Spell Pierce, so I have to take the Spell Pierce. I think. Taking Blighted Agent is obviously very attractive, but he's going to be able to shock in Breeding Pool and stop my Path to Exile. If I had a second Path to Exile or second removal spell post board sort of thing, um, I would have taken Blighted Agent, but in this situation, it's going to be close. I mean, Become Immense isn't lethal either. And I need to find a second removal spell anyway. I haven't actually seen this much hate main deck in an Infect deck in a very long time. It's kind of weird. Alright, how dead am I? Untap 7, da, da, da. Okay. So I go Midnight Haunting. Is there a reason to... Because if he draws another Spell Pierce, I guess I'm in bad shape. But if he doesn't draw another Spell Pierce, then I'm in good shape, right? Blighted Agent, 2 mystery cards. Oh no, Become Immense Blighted Agent mystery card. I don't know. He knows I have Midnight Haunting. Whether he knows what Midnight Haunting does, I don't know. Um, it's not like I'm keeping secrets. Blight Agent seems much better. Okay. I'm gonna let Gataxian Probe resolve because if he does draw Spell Pierce, or he drew Spell Pierce this turn, I'd rather him Spell Pierce to Midnight Haunting. Like, giving him the option to Spell Pierce to Midnight Haunting and do it is better since it doesn't actually hurt me in the long run. Double Ink Moth Nexus is kind of a pain. Man. Alright, well I guess we do it. Like, we're not doing anything else, so we might as well. We'll make some tokens. It's possible I should have taken Spellskite. I didn't actually envision the game lasting this long, so yeah. So if he has land become immense, he gets to swing for 3 infect naturally, and then bump it up to 9, and I just can't. So I swing for 4, he goes to 7, I make 2 more tokens, and I get to swing for 8. But he'd be going to at least 7. It might be actually time to race, but then I'm dead to, like, every imaginable pump spell. I think I'm actually going to try and race. I think that might be... Like, if I hit another removal spell before now, I might have stood a chance, but these creatures have vigilance anyway, so it's time to just race. Because this will hit him to 7. If I path whatever creature he become immenses, if he didn't draw a Spell Pierce, then I imagine he's just going to have to take another 2. Oh, and he drew exactly the basic forest. Alright, so never use your removal spells against Infect during combat, because if they can make it bigger, it's just really bad for you. So this is going to be a 7/7. We're not going to block. Alright, we're at 7 poison. We're going to raise the alarm, which is going to mean we have lethal if he doesn't block. So we're going to basically force him to block. I guess the best we can do is force him to have a pump spell. At least because of our creatures having vigilance, we will be able to have blockers. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to path the Blighted Agent now while we have Spell Pierce mana up. And he either has to pay life or pay mana, so he can't animate both Inkmoth Nexuses. So he's definitely dead in 2 turns, and we just force him to have the kill, which is not really a stretch, to be honest, but he didn't have it last turn. So there's a hope, I guess. It's not great, but it's something. Because if he wants, he can animate an Inkmoth Nexus. Like, he has to animate an Inkmoth Nexus. He's losing an Inkmoth Nexus. He's at 1. And he doesn't have enough infect creatures, so he has to have the pump spell, is basically it. And if he has it, good for him. If he doesn't, then we get to pull this off. Alrighty. So he didn't have it, which is once again awesome for us. Against Infect, yeah, hold the line, Murderous Cut. Elspeth Tirel is probably way too slow. Well, Johnny Goldmane's probably not great. Actually, I meant Sorin. Sorin's not great because the life gain doesn't do much. It's nice because it's going to push through damage, but we need to make sure we can actually live that long. So basically, we're going to keep a Johnny Goldmane's and Intangible Virtues as our crusade effects. I just totally lost it there. We're gonna cut one Oath of Gideon to bring us to 60 cards because the extra counter doesn't really matter quite as much. Elspeth Tirel is probably not the best either. Like, it's fine, it does make tokens, but it's not where we want to be. And I'm going to bring in an extra duress. And I think that might be it. I'm not going to bring in... I could have bring in Disenchant, actually. That could have been good. But I'm already bringing in a 5th removal spell. And I'm hoping that that is indeed enough. Being on the draw for game 2. Alright, man. Okay, this is actually kind of tough. So it's only a 1-lander. We have 2 discard spells and a path. The problem is all of our token makers don't start until 3, but we do have an intangible virtue, which means our clock's going to be really fast. I'm going to keep it since I'm on the draw, and our opponent already mulliganed to 6. I did keep 6. Did put a card on top, and we hope no turn 1 Glistener Elf. Turn 1 Noble Hierarch is fine. It's mostly the creatures we're worried about. So we'll go to 17. Unfortunately, we drew Oath of Gideon, so another 3 mana token producer. We're going to go to 17 because our life total doesn't matter, obviously. And yes, we like to pay 2 life. Inquisition our opponent, hopefully taking like his only infect creature or something. He doesn't have an infect creature. So for this, I actually like taking Vines here because Vines is a protection spell. That makes me feel a little bit better. And we do have an Inquisition just in case. Really, though, what we need is just to hit 2 lands. They don't necessarily have to be in a row. He didn't have the breeding pool, did he? Inquisition might of course have commenced. So we're going to actually take damage here. So much for my life total not mattering. Come on, land. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so he has Might of Old Krosa in hand, and he has Become Immense. I almost don't like firing off the Inquisition here. It's really close. If we do fire off the Inquisition, he's not going to win anytime soon. But he's not winning anytime soon anyway. Like, if he draws an infect creature, we're just... like, we're never going to be able to get it with discard. So we might as well just hold up the path. Luckily, drawing Raise the Alarm is nice because it does mean we can... if drawing a second land gets us back in the game. Alright, with Gitaxian Probe, we'll let Probe resolve. He knows he's up against Inquisition and Path, which means his Infect creature isn't safe in his hand, and it isn't safe on the battlefield if he draws one. And we're just going to have to keep taking our beats, unfortunately. Really, we just want to draw land next turn. Maybe even fire off Intangible Virtue first. If we don't draw a land, alright, we did, and it's a Temple of Silence, which is actually not as bad as it sounds, since I really wanted to... Alright, he has 2 Become Immense. They're basically useless in multiples. We're going to hopefully scry a land. Alright, Ghost Quarter is actually okay. It's not mana to cast Spectral Procession, but it is mana. It means I'm going to more aggressively use my tokens. I'm going to go to 11. I'm going to cast Oath of Gideon. And I don't know if I'm going to double block the Noble Hierarch. I'm probably going to go Oath of Gideon, Chump Block, Intangible Virtue. That makes me feel a lot better about my decisions. I'm only taking 8 here, which is nice. Jeez. Alright, so he has Wooded Foothills and Become Immense. Luckily, I have chump blockers for days. Alrighty, we're going to ship the turn. We're at the point where we actually do definitely have to chump block the Noble Hierarch. And in this case, we might have to chump block the Dryad Arbor. Geez, yeah, we're definitely chump blocking the Dryad Arbor now. I hope there's a second land on top of my deck. Alright, so being a 4/4, I think we chump here. Hope to draw another land. If we don't draw another land... Jeez. Okay. So I could actually raise the alarm plus path, which I don't hate. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to path the Dryad Arbor so that he can't just swing for one anyway. And if he has a pump spell, the raise the alarm is going to mean I can chump block all the Noble Hierarchs if I have to. And then once I have all these tokens, I'll be able to Intangible Virtue. Alright. All those triggers on the stack, I'm just going to go ahead and path the Dryad Arbor. Because he's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He does have enough for Become Immense. So if I didn't block the Become Immense, he would be, block the Dryad Arbor, he would be able to just Become Immense. Alright, Vines of Vastwood is incredibly dangerous. And the fact that it's kicked is also very bad for me. Luckily, he still doesn't have Trample, but it does mean I'm going to have to raise the alarm here. I'm going to chump the Dryad Arbor, which sounds so bad. Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and block Dryad Arbor. And I'm trying to see how much he needs. He needs 3 mana for Become Immense, so if he draws a land... Alright, having another Raise the Alarm is okay. I haven't wanted to fire off the Ghost Quarter on Dryad Arbor, but it's something I'm willing to do if I need to. If he draws a land, though, I think he might have enough to attack with all of the Noble Hierarchs and the Dryad Arbor, and have that be enough. If I can help it, though, I really don't want to use the Ghost Quarter. Alrighty. Get a Midnight Haunting here. Flying could be relevant. I kind of doubt it at this point. Um, I don't know what I should do with Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls does mean that for 3 turns I'm going to have things to do on 2 mana. It means I'd be able to... Not this turn. This turn I can probably attack with a Spirit. Hold back. Oh no, because... Alright, so Windswept Heath means he has 4 cards for Delve. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he'd be able to attack with all the Noble Hierarchs and just become immense whatever one I don't block. So I actually have to cast Lingering Souls to have enough blockers. And then that's basically it. I'm really hoping to just pull. At some point, I have to pull ahead. Like, I was really just waiting for like a 3rd land, or a 4th land. But if I Ghost Quarter Dryad Arbor, which is always still in the back pocket, okay. So he's gonna know what I have. He's gonna be able to draw. He now has enough mana to just become immense at any point. Um, I imagine he attacks with it. Or not. I mean, this is kind of better for me. Unless he has a way to give trample. That was actually a mistake. A lot of these decks are running slip through space now. So I should definitely... I can't really close out on the whole Ghost Quarter thing. Alright, now that I have... Alright, he drew an Inkmoth Nexus. Now that he has Inkmoth Nexus... oh, great. Okay, so now we have 4 lands. I can go a Johnny, swing for 8 in the air, and then be able to block. Or I go Intangible Virtue, swing for 8 in the air, have Ghost Quarter for Dryad Arbor, and a blocker for every single one of their things. And then if I draw a land, I get to go a Johnny and win the game. Yeah, I like that way better. So you're going to go Intangible Virtue. Right, and it's very important that our guys have Vigilance, and it's very important we leave up Ghost Quarter. This actually does open something kind of interesting, though. So if he draws a pump spell, is there any way that he can activate Inkmoth Nexus, have a pump spell, and become immense on Inkmoth Nexus to kill us with poison? Because the problem is we need all... Oh, never mind. I forgot about Ghost Quarter. Jesus. Yeah, so we have a blocker for every single creature and Inkmoth Nexus. Came up with such a great plan and then just went out the window. So I really wasn't expecting that. I think I just want to do So after all of these exalted triggers resolve, I think I just want to Ghost Quarter. Yeah, I think I just want to Ghost Quarter. Yeah, because there's no way he has to block. Yeah, I think I just Ghost Quarter here. Maybe, is there anything that makes me lose if I do that? Swing for 8 in the air, he animates Inkmoth Nexus, he loses Inkmoth Nexus, and I still have a bunch of blockers for Noble Hierarch. So no, I'm just gonna Ghost Quarter here. I could have Ghost Quartered Inkmoth Nexus. No, that doesn't work either, because then I don't have the mana to actually kill him. I would have to assume I'm drawing land to a Johnny Vengeance and swing for more in the air. So this turn I'm just going to play Spectral Procession. I'll have a ton of blockers. I could hold the line. No, I can't hold the line. I have to. I can hold the line next turn, but I think it's just better to Spectral Procession. So I'm going to go ahead and attack for 8. He'll animate Inkmoth Nexus. I don't think he'll waste his Become Immense because that's how he's winning the game. So I'll just end up with like a Limp Spirit. Does he have a second pump spell? Jeez. I guess he decided he's not winning the game unless he draws another pump spell anyway. So that seems fine to me. Um, Assuming he has like another Become Immense in hand, like I don't know what he. I guess Become Immense plus Inkmoth Nexus is technically a way to do it. But I just have so many chump blockers. You'd have to go slip through space, Become Immense on Inkmoth Nexus, and then I die. Or slip through space, Noble Hierarch, attack for 3, and then any pump spell. But no, that was just the way he could win the game. It gave him the most outs, but I really was not sure how Infect was going to go. I'm glad it went fairly well. I'm debating on putting something like Spellskite in the board, but I mean, just having a continuous supply of blockers just works very, very well. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I just kind of hope it keeps going this way. So I'll see you back for round 3.